Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone is okay. We have the start of a new week. Uh, the week has already started in an interesting way for us to talk about. We just confirmed the range within the TR pocket, and this basically happened with the start of Asia, um, where we slowly crawled up to 71,300 during the weekend. And Asia session was essentially met with a very simple bear divergence on the 1 minute and took us down all the way to 68,900 again. Um, so I'm gonna go essentially through a quick review of the levels that we currently have to watch out for and what I think is probably going on. Um, and essentially after that, I'm gonna be joining the live sessions on our Discord. Might I remind you guys that it's free, you can join and just, trade and chill with us for the rest of the day if you want. Um, and yeah, essentially that's it. So I just did look at the liquidation levels and was about to update them on my own charts. So let me just go through that first in a way of not forgetting checklists and things I do every day. And confirming liquidation levels is one of them. So during the weekend, sorry, we essentially cleared these guys out. Uh, this guy now needs updating. It's at, oh no, it's still there. Okay, so it was front run, but now we have to consider that this is a considerable liquidity grab, and so far it's gonna probably make so that this guy, sorry, maybe something like a circle is better, that guy now is in danger of being a targeted high. So that is there. I have 68,115, okay, also there. 68, 67, 419. This shifted a bit, and 66,725. Okay, that's still there. This is no longer there. It's past 7 days. Oh, there were two there. Weird. Okay. So now to the upside. 69,836, probably very close, yes. 72.40, 246, sorry. And now for medium leverages. 75.61, 79.75. And then on top of us, we got a lot stacked together. 71.639. 72.181 already there. This is still there as well, but we have some new ones. So 70.531, 72.531, and 73.045. Okay, so essentially what this tells us is that very quickly and probably in a fast fashion, we're gonna go have a quick move, a quick retrace to get the closest liquidation levels possible. Maybe even reaching this guy over here. If I pull a standard Fibonacci from the top to the bottom, yeah, we can probably see that the 786 is close to one of them. So basically this retrace invites these liquidation levels invites price to do a full retrace, full classical Fibonacci retrace, and then probably range a little bit more probably during the whole entirety of the London session, which will probably mean that we're gonna have a slow London session and then maybe another new move during New York. In terms of what that move might be, I would expect us to have some kind of structure here to have a reaction from, and my best bet would be to target that high in the upcoming 2 or 3 days. But that's not necessarily without making a new low and taking this high block liquidation level, so that we might do something like this. This is one possibility. Another possibility is to react to somewhere around this wick zone, to then start a longer range and target that high. But I do think it's very probable to target that high, and by targeting this high is also in danger because it's super close and it's ascending, which would essentially bring us into distribution model 1, if I'm not mistaken, which is when we have the up thrust after distribution, in case this is a range that is going to take us way lower. So the idea, for example, if we are to have this or something like it, this can, for example, give us the idea that the up thrust after distribution can take us to 72,526, and from there on start dropping maybe down to 66 or lower. However, if this was a liquidity grab to restart an uptrend, we should probably not see a very bearish reaction when we get to 72,500. But that is those types of things that only time will tell. If this is a reaccumulation, it's also possible that we will, in the near future, maybe in this week or the next one, take out this low for a last time, and have a much stronger reaction to the upside. But again, that's one of those things that has to be reviewed level by level, and I don't think there's a big advantage in making future predictions like that just now. So currently, let's go down to the 1 hour, see what we have. So on the 1 hour, we are already filling this gap, and considering that this third candle of the FVG pattern closed inside the middle FVG, right, the middle candle, I am expecting price to reach at least 70,500, or very close to that. And from that point onward, every move has to be reviewed, because essentially now this order block can serve as a resistance in the future. So can this one, and this fair value gap with that order block can also be a point of resistance, which takes us to the last liquidation level of this drop, right? Another thing to consider is, let's see where the main volumes are of the downtrend. Okay. As you can see, 2 of the high volume nodes are also here, so this zone will very likely have a reaction, but so is this one. right? So in this case, we have a 15-minute fair value gap very close to an order block, which is the point of control of this drop. I'm gonna take the opportunity, sorry, to mark this one out. So we have this small order block here. Sorry, not a bullish one. Let me just update my template here. Okay, to the downside. On the 15-minute, I don't see anything. From anything that I can long from. We can say that this fair value gap was already tested. 5-minute. So there's an order block there to test. There's an order block here to test. Okay, there's this interesting alpha block on the 1-minute here. Might give us a possible bounce, but I wouldn't put too much hope on it. But does seem like a possibility, yeah. We have a small liquidity curve here after the fair value gap reaction. Let me see if any of these are vectors. Okay, the blue ones are vectors, and there's a liquidity curve below. So this would invite price to drop a bit and come here to react to this block maybe. However, it is a little bit dangerous because in the same sense that there is a liquidity curve here, there's also one here. And let's not forget that these are also vectors. If it is to recover vectors in that sense, this is a possibility for a bounce, but don't limit in. Currently, it is where the biggest volume node is. So that's good, but this liquidity curve here is kind of scary. So don't limit in, but monitor the reaction, because it might be where it restarts the move up. And if you do catch that, be aware that on either of these high block liquidation levels there can be a reversal, so play it a little bit safe. And maybe try to not overreach, in the sense that, for example, this seems easy to grab, right? But I would say that from this moment on, like, all of this can provide a reversal reaction. So be careful when price reaches 7,700-ish, around that. Okay. And maybe, of course, if you do have a nice risk to reward long here on the 1-minute time frame, maybe even consider fully doing TP there. So after that, essentially, going back to the 4-hour, essentially, I would advise you guys to set alerts for this high and that high, because this being a range, we have to trade the range, right? Don't really expect much more than that. Don't ask for more than that. And just watch for possible swing failure patterns on both of these sides. Consider that the 1-hour gap that I told you about, this one might be a reversal point depending on what price action we create during this London session now, anything can be also a range. So treat the London session itself as a range. And still consider that if this is a reaccumulation, right? If, for example, if this is one move and this is two moves, and if this is a reaccumulation for a third move, then that third move can take us probably above a new all-time high. If I consider this as a first move, and if we are to have an extension of that, I wouldn't exactly be surprised if a reaccumulation takes us to 80 bucks, 80,000 bucks. But at least for the short-term view of this, getting to 62k is very, very likely. Okay. And by the way, let me check where are the TR pockets of this. Yeah, okay. So essentially, the liquidations are actually very well placed in the sense of price using essentially this section of price as a support, meaning that it can actually not come back lower than the 0 point of the TR pocket in order to reach 72, 73k, which would essentially clear out all the liquidation levels that we have, right? And we do have a lot more to the upside than to the downside. But I wouldn't be surprised if by reaching that we come down to 56, clear 7-day heat maps, as that could be the last push of this, let's call it a buy program because it looks like a buy program, right? 1, 2, 3 of the sell program, and now 1, 2, and possibly 3 of the buy program. Following the logic of a market maker model program. So this is very much a possibility. The very, very bullish case scenario is that this whole price action is a range in itself, in which case going back to 58 and 56k would not necessarily be bearish, depending on the price action that we get on the 4-hour. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. And essentially, I think that's it, guys. So I'll see you guys on Discord. I hope you guys have a great week. Keep in mind that the London session might be a little bit boring, but probably New York is gonna have some nice moves, I bet. Okay, see you soon. Hope you guys are alright. Give me a shout out on Discord and leave a like on YouTube if you can. And I'll see you next time. See you tomorrow, right? Goodbye.